Hello, everyone. Welcome. I have my Mary Magdalene candle going as usual. And I told you, I think it was last week, that I was going to pick one out of here to see what we should focus on this week. Your creativity. So that's what this week's about. You should focus on appreciating your creative gifts and also moving towards your creative gifts and do something this week. I know myself, I've been starting to do different things. Sometimes I'm doing, mantra books, coloring in them. No, I'm not saying the right thing. What am I thinking of? Not mantras. Anyway, mandalas, thank you. Mandala books. I've been coloring in those. I've been doing some puzzles. I'm reading nonsense books, romantic things, or magical books, just to get away from all the heaviness. And so this is a time when you should really focus on your creativity and just allow that to come through. Sometimes when I'm too much in all my psychic stuff and intuition and all that, I just need to change the scenery and mix it up a little bit. And so when I do that, everything is wonderful. It recharges me and lets me go, change the scenery and then you're back there again. So this is a really, really good time for everything to move in that direction. Okay. I'm going to start with Colette Byron Reed's Goddess Power Oracle. And what is it that we need to learn for this week? Epona, Wise Leadership. Beautiful, strong goddess there. Oops. It says alignment message. Being overly assertive and determined to take action is not in your favor at this time. If you feel afraid of making a mistake or worried that you will somehow compromise yourself or disappoint someone else, consider this a time to regroup and assess the details. As the goddess Epona knows, not all paths are meant to be explored, not all battles are meant to be fought, not all opportunities will pan out. Be aware of the tendency to overreach. You have come a long way, and the best leader knows when to take a break. Your task is to hold back and breathe deeply, trusting fully that when the time comes to act, you will be ready, and the goddess Epona will guide you. You don't want to act too soon out of fear and insecurity, or even by hubris, as you will surely slip and lose your stance. Take heart, for this is the perfect moment for a time out to see what the goddess Epona truly has for you. The divine has you safe and secure. You just need to wait. Love that, because what was I just saying? Sometimes we need to take a break out of all of that to get recharged in a different way. So there she is. You can even evoke her. Gosh, I don't know what's wrong with me. Invoke. You can even invoke the goddess to help you with that. So take a time out, change the scenery a little bit, go from one room into another. If you're used to doing everything in a certain room, it's time to shake it up a little bit, mix it up a little bit. Oh, well, this is funny because we just got about taking a step back, and now from the Divine Dog Wisdom cards, we get action, seize the day. So how I'm going to take this is that when you feel like you need to act, take action, and there's going to be moments this week that you need to stop, rest, and regroup and mix it up a little bit. That's what this feels like. Okay, let's see what this has to say. If you fetched this bone today, it means there can be a risk in a risk in taking action. Okay. Equally, there may be a risk in not taking action. Getting out of your comfort zone requires a new response, an overcoming of inertia. Derived from the Latin word inertia means idle or sluggish. As the saying goes, if you keep doing what you're doing, you'll end up in the same place. Likewise, if you keep doing nothing, you'll be in the same place. The time is right for a good look at your own personal inertia. Ask yourself if it might be time to take some action, however large or small, to capture more passion, joy, and everyday fulfillment. Are you growing increasingly uncomfortable staying where you are in work or in a relationship or some project that you've been procrastinating on completing? If not a big leap, what would be the same step or action you could seize upon now that could tip the bowl in a new direction and get it filled up? What could bring you a little closer to a bone or the rewarding situation you've yearned for, but may have waited for someone else to make it happen? Another bone to chew on. Identify a project, a relationship, or pursuit that you've been sitting on and staying on the fence too long. Write it down, then write a list of actions you can take to move the situation forward in ways that feel good to you. Pick the top 3 that you can see yourself doing right away and begin one. So again, knowing when to take action, however small the step may be, is still going to move you up the mountain, one step at a time. But trust, it's almost like every day you need to tune in. Is this a time where I need to stop and rest, take care of myself, or a time to move forward? Now, because I've been telling you about the year of the crystal too, having these crystals coming back to us, we are going to pull from the Crystal Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. Nope, it's down here. Sodalite, a beautiful blue stone that's very calming and peaceful and tranquil. Excuse me a second. Intuition, perception, meditation, calm, strength, and determination. Keep your calm, for this will help strengthen your determination to quietly pursue your dreams. Set aside a little time each day to meditate and reflect on all that you wish to create in your life. Be guided by what you intrinsically feel in your heart and trust your intuition, for in doing so, you will draw to you all that is necessary for you to create that which your heart so desires. At the same time, let go of rigidity, fixed expectations, or time frames, and trust that your dreams may manifest in ways you have not yet imagined. This card is a promise and a positive confirmation. Keep your dream alive. There you go. Still going with the theme of keeping in motion, but knowing when to act and when not to. And sometimes we actually have to sit and meditate, and even though it is a doing, and sometimes people don't think it is, but it definitely is a doing. And while we're in meditative state, we get the answers to our questions, and sometimes it's just be in your meditation and envision what it is you're trying to create, and just allow that to come through for you. Next one's Earth Magic from Stephen Farmer. New moon, promise. So we have new beginnings here. New moon's always new beginnings. And we have a couple just resting on each other here. Benny's not too happy. He's laying over here and I have my cards all spread out. He was waiting patiently for me to clear things before. He was standing here as if he was waiting for the bus. New moon. Gazing at the sliver of a new moon smiling down upon them, the couple embraces each other, welcoming the promise of new love. The fading sun drapes the clouds and waters with its tinge of luminescence. As the crescent opens its arms to the nearby planet Venus, named after the Roman goddess of love. This is a time for manifestation, new beginnings, and renewal, with the promise that our desires will come to fruition. Here, Grandmother Moon initiates another lunar cycle, moving from darkness to fullness and back again over approximately 1 month. Her promise of what is to come is embedded in the first glimmer of her light as she emerges from behind the curtain of darkness that had recently encompassed her. It is a promise that has been kept for as long as she has existed. So remembering that the moon is the divine feminine, and one of the big things this year that this is reminding me of is that, you know, we're working with the feminine energies now, and the feminine energies are not about like forcing the will, excuse me, of something to happen. It's about sitting and allowing it to come to you. It doesn't mean that you don't take action steps. You take action steps when you can, but then you sit back and you know you're going to draw it like a magnet. You're going to draw it to you when the time is right. This is a time to launch a project, a new relationship, or renew something that has been put aside for a later date, with your intention and willingness to allow a full cycle to complete itself. That which you desire will manifest. The seed of the idea is ready to emerge from the darkness of your subconscious into your full awareness. The next step is to put it into action. What is required to fully realize this idea? A promise has two meanings. It can be a commitment and guarantee to yourself or someone else that a particular thing will happen, or it can imply that something specific is expected to happen. When your will is aligned with the will of Spirit and your intention is focused upon what you wish to have happen, there will be fulfillment and the promise is kept. So where I go with this is, we talked about Grandmother Moon. It's the whole cycle of things that on new moon, you know, new beginnings, full moon, emptying out, clearing things, making room for something new to come in, and how it takes one full moon cycle from one full moon to the next full moon to start manifesting. So even though we manifest every year, we manifest every month too, with what our goals and wishes are for that moon cycle. So that's interesting to explore and do ritual around itself during those cycles. Next cards are Native Spirit Oracle by Denise Lynn. Oop, right in the center here. Prayer feather. Oh, isn't this beautiful? The prayers, the feathers hanging from the tree so the wind can hit them, or at least that's what it's bringing to me. Blowing in the wind. And what did we say? Aquarius, the age of Aquarius is all about that. The wind, taking your prayers and things over the wind. Okay. Love is flowing to you and through you no matter what an individual is saying or doing. Love him or her anyways. Gather your inner focus silently and secretly. Love deeply and fully with every ounce of your being, even if someone isn't fulfilling your expectations. It's easy to love people when they're acting wonderfully. The true challenge is to love them when they aren't. Your your native spirit wants you to know feathers in native cultures often represents a connection with the Creator. Birds often symbolize messengers between the two-legged, the humans, and spirit. This is your time to love and be loved. The love that you send out into the world comes back to you 100-fold. There are times when the small concerns of everyday life need to drop away and be replaced by the majesty of your being. This is that time. Prayer feathers are decorated feathers that can be used for many purposes. In some traditions, prayers are placed into the feather, and you can hold it to your heart or between your hands as you focus on your prayer, and then tie them onto a bush to when the wind blows. So when the wind blows, it carries the prayers to the Creator. I love that. Another kind of prayer feather is a decorated feather or a decorated bundle of feathers that are used for smudging sacred smoke ceremonies. The smoke is to cleanse the space as well as carry your prayers upward. Again, it's the air, whoops, or the element of air for Aquarius. The journey. For a day, love each person you encounter. Imagine a golden ray of light from the center of your heart radiating to the center of their heart of that individual. Notice how great you feel by the end of the day. So I'm just envisioning, can you imagine tying a bunch of feathers, if everybody had feathers tied to their trees, and that they really put their hopes, your dreams, and their wishes into that, and then what they did was they just blew so that prayers could go out and you could tie them on your tree. I just might do that. I love the idea of that, and I think it's, especially with the way the wind has been lately, it's been a little crazy, and I think we have more windstorms than anything for it's been that while for a while. I mean, it's been that way for a while. And so I invite you to do that as an exercise in your creativity, is to gather a couple feathers. It doesn't matter how small or how large they are, and make your wishes. And I'm saying, blow your breath into it, because the breath gives it life. Hold it to your heart. Put your wishes, envision them, whether they're far. And I would encourage you to do not only one for yourself, but one for the world, and what our collective wishes are about healing this planet and its peoples. And then tie them with a beautiful ribbon onto your tree or onto a branch. You know, some of the people last year that I took a year ago, past September 2019, we went to England, and we went to this beautiful fairy glen, and Sir Nectan's Glen it was called. And when we climbed down all the stairs and got to where the fairy glen was, there were amazing trees tied with bells and colorful things of all kinds, ribbons, every color under the rainbow, feathers, little gifts and toys and candies and bells. And just seeing it, like everybody's inner child just went, oh, because it brought back the joy and the innocence. And that costs nothing to do. I mean, what's it cost for you to find a feather and get a ribbon you have around and tie it to a tree? So I'm going to see, that's my challenge for you. Let's see how many people really do that. And if you do, send me a picture, because I want to see it. Okay? And may all your dreams, the ones you hold for yourself, and all our dreams for this planet and for the way that we want things to move forward, come true. I love you, and I'm looking forward to you doing that with creativity. And I know I'm going to get pictures of it. And don't worry that it's winter. It doesn't matter. Find a tree and do it anyways. Lots of love to you. Bye-bye.